Last time on Casino Royale with cheese.
You know, it's funny, dude, because so I drive a Chevy Equinox, which is obviously a panty dropper.
Sponsored by Chevy.
Yeah. So, yeah, if I was going to try to advertise for Chevy, I wouldn't start with the Equinox, but I'm just saying. Then we get to the actor where comedy goes to die, Rob Schneider. And fucking this guy, I swear. I cannot stand that dude. People back in the day were like, yo, man, did you watch that Deuce Bigalow? Fuck no. They're like, why not? Because Rob Schneider's fucking in it.
And now, the conclusion.
Houston, we have a problem.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
A boy's best friend is his mother.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Silent Green is people!
Yo, Adrian! Adrian!
Let's put a smile on that face.
I gotta warn you, Clark. They don't play the same games here as they do at them regular casinos.
Royale, too.
That's what I call a close encounter.
Welcome back to Casino Royale with Cheese. This is episode number 43 of the show where we discuss movies that were number one at the box office exactly 20 years ago. My name is Shane. Today I'm joined by the man who, unfortunately for him, during his abductions, the aliens always want to probe his ass first. This is Mike.
What's up, fucker?
Not much, buddy. How are you?
Exhausted.
Exhausted. We had a little football party yesterday.
Yeah.
It was a good game.
It was way too close to the game.
Yeah. But it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These little parties are starting to become more and more frequent.
They are. They age you about 10 years for every one of them.
Feels like it.
Yep. Last week, we discussed The Waterboy.
We did.
And we're changing things up a little bit this week with the movie Fire in the Sky.
Yeah. Was this the number one movie?
That I don't know, actually. I'm pretty sure it wasn't, actually. I did look up the numbers, but I didn't happen to look up how this one fared at the box office. I don't think it was, though. But I can verify that right quick here, no problem. For anybody that's not familiar, though, this is supposedly based on a true story.
Well, it says it in, like, opening credits.
Yeah. Right after the credits are over. Let's see, weekend-wise, it opened at number 2. So, no, never broke that number 1 threshold there.
The reason I ask if it was a number one movie is, why did you pick this movie?
That's a good question right there. I'm not gonna lie. Mostly because just looking on like YouTube and things of that nature, there's not really that many people that either, they don't ever like critique this movie. They go through and they're like, oh, there's a movie made about Travis Walton. Let's talk about Travis Walton,
Okay.
And I just kind of wanted to look at it objectively, so.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to go.
I don't know Travis Walton. Do you know Travis Walton?
I met him, at the grocery store like 2 years ago. He seemed all right. A little weird, but.
It's pretty cool.
No, not really. I never met the dude. I am going to go out, first off, right out of the gate, whenever I'm discussing this movie, I'm going to basically take it at face value and say that this is what happened to him, even though it's just what he claims happened to him. I can neither confirm nor deny, obviously,
Yeah, we got no proof either way.
Yeah, no. There's a lot of people out there that try to debunk his shit, but I don't know how successfully you could do that. Unless like he's telling the same story and it just has like inconsistencies and stuff like that. So.
Do you think aliens exist?
Well, that's one thing that I was going to actually go out front here and say is I consider myself to be a bit of a skeptic, you know? I don't have anything like, any reason to believe that they don't exist, nor do I have any reason to believe that they do. I guess you could say I'm like an extraterrestrial agnostic, you know? But, we all have that one friend of ours that's like full of shit, you know? And if some dude that was like a buddy of mine, but like he talks all the time about, yeah, I went to the casino and I put in $20 and won like $72,000. If he rolled up and was like, yo, I got abducted by an alien, I'd be like, okay, whatever. But if I knew somebody that like was notoriously not necessarily full of shit, like say you roll up to me and you're like, man, some weird shit went down last night, bro, then I would at least be like, tell me what happened,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you that, like, I'm the same way. Like, I don't have proof either way. I feel like there has to be aliens.
You know how big the universe is, bro?
Right. I feel like there has to be another life out there. I don't know if we've necessarily had contact with them. But I'll tell you, if I was abducted, I wouldn't shut the fuck up about it.
Oh, no. Absolutely not.
Like, they would think about committing me. Because I would talk about it all the time.
All the time, yeah. You know what's crazy to me is there's all these people out there. There's a lot of claims that these aliens have come down and probed people's asses. If I was an alien and I traveled light years to come check these people out, I think after probably 5 or 6 asses, I would get like the point, Okay, it's a butt. They're all the same. Okay.
Oh, we know what this does.
Yeah.
This makes the bad stuff.
We've looked at somebody's guts through the other end before. I think we're fucking good.
Oh.
But yeah, so I guess you could say that I am a bit of a skeptic all around. But like I said, this is based supposedly on events that occurred back in 1975. What I thought was kind of crazy about it is a lot of the people that are the deniers of this whole event taking place was that there was a made-for-TV movie that had come out, and it had actually starred James Earl Jones and Estelle Parsons, who plays the mom on Roseanne.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they played this couple called Betty and Barney Hill, who had apparently claimed that they had been abducted like back in the 50s or whatever. They're an interracial couple.
Uh-huh.
And they had made this movie about it, and they'd put it on TV. And then like 2 weeks later, Travis Walton like claims that he got abducted. And so a lot of people were like, oh, that's fucking convenient, that sort of thing. Like maybe he got the idea,
From watching the made-for-television
movie. And he saw like the publicity around it, and they got a movie deal and all that shit. And he was like, maybe I got abducted by aliens, So once again, that kind of leads toward the skeptic's opinion, but I'm not going to say that that's definitive proof that it never took place, So
yeah.
I don't know, man. Shit's fucking weird.
Well, I want to get into like talking about whether I thought or what my theories behind everything is, but I feel like we'll just be destroying the movie in the process.
Yeah, I think that's valid. Had you seen this movie before, Mike?
I have.
Okay. Do you remember your history with it at all?
No, I think I saw it once.
Oh, okay.
Like, this is on? I watched it. And
well, that was on.
Yeah, that was about it.
I remember back in the day, it was really weird, man. My daddy got some kind of free software, and I'm pretty sure it was put up by MTV because it was a little CD that like it basically had like pre-recorded like drum beats and like vocals and like guitar riffs and shit like that on it, so you could kind of cobble together your own music. Kind of. It was pretty primitive. But they also on there, the reason I think it was put up by MTV was because they had like preloaded on this disc like trailers for movies on there, and one of them was Fire in the Sky. And so at the time, of course, I've told you about my background with like watching Intruders and stuff like that when I was a kid. And so of course I was like chomping at the bit to check this thing out. I was, oh my god, and this was really kind of a rare deal because you'd never seen like an alien abduction movie that was supposedly based on a true story on like a large budget like this, and so something like that, I was just dying to check it out,
Okay.
Having watched it, Like the last 15 minutes or so, I thought were pretty freaky, but the rest of the movie's kind of a wash up to that point. I felt like at the time. I don't know. Are you going to elaborate at all on your opinion of this movie, Mike, or are we gonna go with it and then just go from there?
Man, my opinion of this movie didn't change from the first time I watched it to this.
Just meh.
It's just a movie.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That's fair. So, no, that's fair enough. This movie overall was made on a budget of $15 million.
It's not bad.
No, I mean they got a couple of names.
When they make it?
It was released on March 12th of 1993.
Okay.
And then, of course, we mentioned that it was never number one. Do you dare to guess how well it did U.S. wise?
No idea.
No, I don't blame you. It didn't even break 20 million. It did like 19,885,000.
Flop.
So yeah, I couldn't find any overseas numbers for it, but
Isn't that crazy? You can make a movie on a relatively low budget of $15 million.
Right.
Open
Grab
the
a
weekend,
handful of people that
Yeah.
you might be familiar with.
over the weekend. You go to number 2 in the box office,
Right.
and you barely break even.
Yeah.
It's a heartbreaker.
Well, especially after advertising and stuff, it's probably not even. And when you think about it too, because Robert Patrick, who stars in this movie as Mike Rogers, he had already been in like Terminator 2 at this point, playing the T-1000.
Yeah.
And so you would think somebody might be like, "Yo, it's that liquid metal dude. Let's check it out."
Yeah.
But nope, there's no box office draw on this thing.
The actors in this movie, there's a bunch of like secondary actors.
There
like,
are.
guys that have been in big movies or other shows before,
Yeah.
but they weren't the lead.
Right. Well, the star of the thing, the guy that plays Travis Walton, D.B. Sweeney, he's that way. The only thing I remembered him, like movie-wise, being the star of was The Cutting Edge, that ice skating movie back in the day. Back in the 80s?
The Cutting Edge.
Yeah, apparently. So he was like a hockey player that got injured, but he could still like skate. He just couldn't do like the hockey stuff, and so he wound up doing like figure skating.
There you go.
Yeah, and so yeah, it was.
Who was like greenlit that?
I don't know, man. What's weird is I saw that movie like when I was younger. We were going on like with our church. We were going on like a trip to some church camp or some shit, and so we wound up like watching that movie like on the bus. I was like, "What the fuck is this,
It
man?"
was funded by the American Association for Figure Skating in an attempt to bring more men into the sport.
Yeah,
Like, this will get the boys.
their slogan is, "It's not gay, we swear." Oh shit.
That was good.
Oh yeah. As I mentioned, we got Robert Patrick. There's a dude, Craig Sheffer, plays Alan Dallas in this movie.
Yeah.
I want to say I've seen him in some shit, but who cares, really?
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
don't
looking
care,
it up. Peter Bird plays David Whitlock. I always thought his hat looked really funny in this movie.
Wait, which one?
Everybody's wearing cowboy hats and shit. He's the one that like goes to the church and he's like praying, like repenting or whatever, like right after the shit goes down.
Oh,
in
yeah,
this
yeah.
movie.
He's been in some stuff.
Has he?
Yeah, I've seen him before.
Oh, okay. You recognize Henry Thomas,
T-1000?
the younger kid? No, that's
Oh.
Robert Patrick.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The younger kid, what's he from?
E.T. He was Elliot.
Oh, you know what's crazy? Have you watched that?
He's the dad on
Haunted
the Hill House. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the dad.
Mm-hmm. He's gotten kind of goofy looking in his old age, man.
No,
I ain't
he
gonna
looks
lie.
like a normal dude.
Well, it's funny because we also watched that Gerald's Game, and in that movie, like they flash back to whenever the wife was like younger, and her dad was like this rapist, and so like he actually plays the rapist dad in that movie. So you're like, creepy looking nasty motherfucker, you know.
I'm glad to see Elliot still working.
Oh yeah, well he's been in some good shit. There was this movie called 1114 that he was in with Patrick Swayze back in the day. That him and what's the girl from $1 Million Baby, Hilary Swank? Yeah, and that was actually a surprisingly good movie, man.
Called 1114?
Yeah, 1114. But because like there's a bunch of different events that take place in this movie, and they all kind of converge at 11:14 at night. You know.
Oh, I've seen that movie.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sure I've seen that movie.
Yeah, I liked it.
Like
I thought it was good.
at 11:14, what you see happens is pretty crazy. Right?
Yeah, and then they flash back to another story and show what happens leading up to 11:14. You know,
Yeah.
and all that shit. Yeah.
And how they all connect. Mm-hmm. It's a lot like that movie. Was that movie Crash? Like that?
Kind of.
Like if you start the movie at the ending, pretty much. And you see how
they just flash it back.
You see how everybody else like kind of ended up there.
Brendan Fraser was in that movie. Surprisingly.
Was he?
Yeah.
In Crash?
In Crash. Are you talking about the racist one? Where everybody, like, they're filling up his wife and all that shit? Yeah, he was in that movie. I think he was married to, what's her puss?
Whoa.
They all run together, you know? No, what's her name? From Gravity. Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock, yeah.
So, I don't know why I threw that in the mix, but we got a guy, Noble Willingham. He plays Sheriff Blake Davis.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely in a bunch of shit.
He's most, to me, well known for his career on Walker, Texas Ranger with motherfucking Chuck Norris.
Never seen that episode.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, man. When I was a kid, there was a back-to-back lineup on Sunday nights. Touched by an Angel, Walker, Texas
Never
Ranger.
watched Touched by an Angel either.
You didn't miss anything,
like
bro.
a pedophile show.
Touched by.
Where'd
There's like this pervert running around. I'm an angel, dude.
Yeah.
Let me touch you.
Show me where the angel touched you, Johnny.
They're holding up a doll.
Touched me in my no-no spot.
Right? Yeah. He said he needed to bless it. I don't know. We got. I didn't get the lady's name, the full name, but Mike's wife, Katie Rogers. Boy, do I have some shit to say about her.
Do you?
Yeah. James Garner plays Lieutenant Frank Waters in this movie. To me, this is almost like a crossover between, you know, the Rockford Files and the X-Files. So,
right.
James Garner. So, but that's pretty much it. It was directed by Robert Lieberman. Back in the day, he directed this movie called, he directed D3, The Mighty Ducks. So, yeah, he's kind of a jack of all trades, I guess, rounding out that trilogy. And he also directed this movie. There was a Christmas movie called All I Want for Christmas starring Thora Birch, where like her parents had just gotten divorced and like her and her brother are doing this whole like Christmas kid power scheme to like get the parents back together. It was really lame. And that's all I have to say as far as the big names go. Of course, the movie was in part written by Travis Walton. He wrote a book about his abduction encounter. And so there's that. He's still out there talking about alien shit, man. I was just watching an interview the other day with him where he's talking about how he didn't feel like the aliens were trying to get a hold of him necessarily. What he felt like is he actually had gotten caught in some kind of wave from like their propulsion engine. Like they were getting ready to take off again. And so fucking sure enough, like he got knocked backwards or whatever, and they took him into the ship. And then he felt like they were actually trying to like patch him back up because it would have killed him otherwise. I don't know. It's pretty weird.
What the fuck?
What I think is bizarre with a lot of these alien encounter stories, man, is these people will go through and they'll be like sitting back and thinking about it for a while. And then like 30, 40 years later, I bet that's what happened, you know, like fucking change their story, I guess, you know?
Well, I mean, it's probably because they're full of shit.
I think, and I'm going to be completely as optimistic as I can, because I'm not the type of person that goes into a situation assuming that somebody's lying to me. I just don't. That's not the kind of person I am. But I will say that I would venture to guess there is a substantial number of these that are fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
I would guess in at least the 80 to 90 percentile are bullshit.
And you're being really nice.
Really, really like
Generous.
Conservative estimate, yeah. Or a liberal estimate, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if a lot of these guys want attention or what. And maybe 100% of them are being fucking truthful.
So a
but
lot of people
doubt it.
have encounters with aliens when they're asleep.
Right.
So you're probably fucking dreaming, dude.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, you know.
I mean, I've been in dreams that felt pretty real.
Pretty real, yeah.
Fortunately, no.
Usually ended up with sticky sheets when I was done.
Oh, really?
Oh, shit. But no, I mean, I agree. You know, people are, oh my God, I was asleep. Well, and then I watched this documentary on Netflix. It's called The Nightmare. And it's all about like sleep paralysis and stuff.
Yeah.
And these people were legitimately like, this one dude had like this dream that there was like the devil standing over his bed and telling him he was going to die and shit like that. That shit never happened. Like, he was asleep and he just thought that he was seeing shit. You know?
I've been like a victim of like sleep paralysis before.
Oh, shit.
But it would only last like a couple seconds.
Yeah.
Like, it was really short. Like, oh my God, I'm awake, but I can't move. I can't open my eyes. And then like I just kind of willed my way.
Came out of it.
Yeah, willed my way through it. Yeah.
I got you.
But I heard that stuff's pretty scary. I was scared for like the 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Felt like a long time at the time.
Right. I guess we could talk about this movie.
I mean, we
If
can.
you want, yeah. Oh, you said that you were, I talked to you a little bit, I believe it was on Thursday night, and you said that you were like basically digging your heels in the dirt in regard to watching this fucking movie.
It was Friday.
Oh, Friday.
Yeah, it was Friday, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to watch this fucking movie.
Was it just because like you feel so blasé about the whole
I had
thing?
no interest in it.
Yeah.
That's why I
got
was
you.
like, that's why I asked you why you picked this movie, because I had zero interest in this.
I got you.
I've gone into your Star Trek movies with more interest.
Nothing else, just morbid curiosity.
Yeah.
Than anything. Well, so I guess part of it is because I do think that alien stuff is cool, and I mean, I'm obviously no like ufologist or anything, but I like to
what?
hear the ufologist.
That's a real thing?
Yeah, they're people that apparently have like degrees in studying like
How?
paranormal. I don't know.
How do you get
What
a
is there to
degree?
study?
Who wrote the book?
Right. I could write a book on the shit. It doesn't mean it's true,
Right.
but it's as much info as anybody else has.
Oh, God.
But, I do find the shit interesting. And every so often, like I would say 18 months, I go into this kick where I start like really not even reading up on it, but like dabbling into a lot of YouTube videos and shit about it, just because it is something that I find interesting, But I did see this one that was really interesting where I was convinced this guy was full of shit. He said that he went through, he was like delivering pizzas or something like that.
Okay.
And he went to this hotel where he was going to be delivering a pizza. And he said that sure enough, he had gotten abducted. And he said that they took his car as well. I was like, okay, so you and your Honda Civic both got abducted by aliens. I'm out. I'm done.
Let
I
me
don't
guess.
care.
All the pizzas were gone, too.
Right? They're just hungry, dude. They're up there getting baked, like, dude, let's fuck with that pizza guy, man.
Yeah. Pizza Hut or Domino's, guys?
Let's take his pizza and then jab some shit up his ass. It's gonna be
You
hilarious.
don't know what to say.
Right? No, let's fuck with his car.
Put one of those exhaust pipes on it that make it go.
My car just doesn't sound the same. I think the aliens experimented on it. The film kind of opens with, I mean, not really kind of, it does open with, it shows this old country road, as John Denver would call it. You can see it's kind of on like a hill, so there's a little bit like a slope coming toward you, I guess, in the foreground. You can see this light like brightening up and shit as the credits roll, and then of course,
music.
Yeah, the music's a problem for me in this movie, man. Yeah. I think that the composer was trying to do some creepy shit, but every time I heard it, I was like, this sounds like a cartoon or something.
It did.
Like somebody's honking his nose, Of course, at the end of the credits, based on a true story, Maybe.
So is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but that shit didn't really happen.
Right. So is Fargo, but that's bullshit too.
Yeah.
So we see where there's this truck that races down. It turns out that's the lights that we're seeing is the headlights from this fucking truck. Even though they're trying to play with you and make you think it's alien shit because you're supposed to already know this is an alien fucking movie. This truck's just blazing down the road.
Yeah.
Just all over the place.
Should never get rid of that truck.
Oh, yeah, no. This thing had lasted atomic bomb blast.
Yeah, it's for real.
Yeah.
I mean, this truck is doing shit normal trucks don't do.
Right.
And it's like a
Fucking
60
like
small.
coming off of the road and shit. And fucking, he's breaking mirrors, bashing into trees.
Keeps trucking.
At one point, he almost hits another delivery truck. And like, he doesn't even flip the thing. He doesn't even like slow down to make these turns.
No.
He's just all over the place.
Should never get rid of that truck.
They finally stop at like this little. There's more to come with that, by the way. Keep that in your mind because we're about to do a flashback, and I got some shit to say.
Okay.
But anyway, they pull into this like little bar and restaurant type deal.
Yeah, they're in White Mountain, Arizona.
1975.
That's right.
Yep. Every time I think of something where they like date it back to before 1977, I'm like, what if this dude had never come back? And just 2 years later, Star Wars was going to come out, and he never got to saw it. Never got to see it. I was thinking shit like that. Was this pre or post when Star Wars came out? Because that would be a damn shame if a motherfucker never got to watch Star Wars.
That's like your start of the calendar for you.
Like the fucking Mayans had 2012, you know, and
Yeah.
so mine starts in 1977, you know.
Okay. Year of Star Wars.
Pretty weird, yeah.
So it'd be like before release, after release?
Right. So BRAR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is 2 years BR.
All right. What's crazy is you're not the only person who thinks like that.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not. Well, so it's funny because I had one of my uncles. He like passed away. I want to say in 2003, and so I was thinking like, oh man, he never got to watch Star Wars Episode 3. He watched the first two of the prequels, but never the third one.
Heartbreaker.
Right? The one that is halfway decent, you know, but whatever.
Jesus.
So these five dudes pile out of the truck. They're not talking to anybody.
No.
I ain't got shit to say.
And everybody knows them.
Yeah. They're like, hey, Mike. And Jimmy and whoever.
Yeah.
That's, I got some problems with that shit too. There's a lot of this fucking good old boy fucking bullshit in this movie that I just cannot stand dialogue like that. And I think it's because I've lived in a small town before where everybody knows your name, kind of like Cheers, you know? And that shit fucking drives me insane, dude. Everybody's all up in your business all the fucking time, you know? And they're like, hey, it's Jeff, the town drunk. Let's ask him if he saw an alien, you know?
I've always wondered like what life would be like. I wonder if I would like live differently.
Oh, yeah.
If I knew that everybody would know what I was doing.
Right? I better go to church. Yeah, no partying on Saturday night for Mike.
We shouldn't call her.
Right, yeah. So we're introduced to Mike Rogers. He's telling the guys, he's trying to rally them up and say, hey, we're sticking to the story. And they're like, okay, whatever, go make the phone call. And so he goes to make the call, and that's when we meet Lieutenant Frank Waters.
Yep.
And basically, he gets hit up on his little radio. They're telling him to go to Snowflake, Arizona. Then we get this weird train fake out.
Yeah.
Stupid.
He even like gets really big eyes and like opens
It's like,
his mouth.
what the fuck? And it's a train rail. So dumb. I think they're trying to play it off of like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, because Richard Dreyfuss in that movie was stopped at the train tracks, and but an alien like legit like was overhead. I don't know if that was supposed to be a reference to that or if they're just being stupid. Probably being stupid.
It wasn't good.
Yeah. When's the last time you ever stopped at the train tracks and the arms were coming down? You were like, what the fuck is that? You know?
It's almost like he didn't know the train was coming or something.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're there for, dumbass.
Yeah.
To fucking tell you so you don't drive out there in front of it. Anyway, so Sheriff, he shows up at this stupid restaurant, and Sheriff Blake Davis is the dude from Walker, Texas Ranger. He's telling about this boy that went missing. And he introduces him to his deputy, and the deputy's like, "Hey, you're Frank Waters. I heard you solved that wetback murder back in." I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. Definitely a different time.
You can't say that.
No.
Oh, man. Anyway, so the sheriff starts going through the rundown. We got David Whitlock. He's the fucking choir boy, as they call him.
Yeah, repetitively.
Yeah.
They call him the choir boy.
He's like the goody good that's lived in town forever.
He goes to church.
Yeah.
Says his prayers.
Right. Greg Hayes, I think that he's Elliot in this movie. Robert Cogdill, he's the one with the big old cowboy hat. And then
Got like 3 lines in the whole movie.
Yeah. He has a cool voice though, because it's like a super like he smoked a bunch of Marlboros.
Cigarettes.
Yeah. And then of course Alan Dallas, he's like the only other member of the cast, like the main cast, that's super memorable to me, because he's got this shitty attitude. Mm-hmm. And then of course we got Mike Rogers.
Right.
So Lieutenant Waters is gonna go talk to these guys because the sheriff feels like he's kind of in over his head with this whole story that they told him. And whenever he goes to set up this recording device, of course Alan Dallas is like, "Hey, I don't like that shit. You need to fucking turn that shit off, blah blah blah." And he's like, "What are you tripping about, bro? Just tell me what you fucking saw, you know." But you get the impression this dude's had some run-ins with the law and stuff like that later on in the movie. So
yeah, he's a bad boy.
Mm-hmm. Kind of a drifter. They said that he'd only been working with the crew for a couple weeks, and he just kind of floats in and out of town. Yeah.
A drifter.
Mm-hmm. And so Mike starts to tell Lieutenant Waters about Travis Walton, and he says, "He was my best friend." Really? Because we never have any scenes in this movie where these two guys are just like chilling, bullshitting, having a good laugh, you know, shit like that. They are always fucking fighting with each other. Like, if he hadn't, like, there's this rule in movies, show don't tell, you know? And here he's definitely telling, because they never fucking show them being best friends, I don't think. You know?
I mean, you can tell they're friends.
They're acquaintances, but he's always, like, pissed at him. He's like, "You're a fucking idiot," you know?
What?
Well, like, whenever, cause we're about to find out, he has this plan to, like, open up this motorcycle shop, right? Which, number one, so...
MT Motors.
MT Motors, yeah. And which is really funny, because he shows, like, this picture. He's like, "I was up all night making this fucking picture, and it looks like something my 3-year-old could have drawn," you know? It's a horrible picture.
Yeah, it's not very detailed.
No. Well, it looks like he did it in a crayon. What the fuck are you doing? And so anyway, that's whenever Mike's like, "Well, that's a fucking stupid idea." And like, basically that's where he leaves it off at, you know, like he doesn't have shit else to say to this guy that's anyway nice, you know. Basically he tells him like, "Hey man, we gotta work," you know, and he's not saying quit your fucking job. He just said, "Hey, this is something that I would like to do with you," you know.
Yeah.
But Mike just shits on him.
Not very nice to Travis.
No.
Travis is a dreamer.
Yeah. They say that in the movie, yeah.
You can tell though, like the character play of this dude, he plays it like he's like a 9-year-old.
Oh yeah,
he's like all bright-eyed and.
Well, that's a problem I have in the movie too, because they're trying to, obviously they want you to care about this character that like this shit happens to, but we're flashing back to the beginning of that day, and so like they're trying to play up like the whimsical nature of this guy. And they're just throwing all these character traits that you're supposed to identify with into this one deal. Mm-hmm. You're like, this guy's kind of annoying now.
Yeah, because we find out he's in love.
Right.
Because he's in love with Mike's sister.
Mm-hmm. He is.
I wish they would explain that to us, like, while it's happening.
Well,
because he just crawled up on top of the roof of your house and kissed some girl through the window.
Right.
Who is that girl?
They don't even say till later, like, you assume, I mean, she's in the house, so obviously, you know, like, unless she's a squatter, you know.
I thought it was like his like 13-year-old daughter, like Mike's 13-year-old daughter, and his best friend's like trying to hook up.
Well, that's what I was wondering about, because when D.B. Sweeney was in this movie, he was 31 years old, right? And so I'm sitting there like, who is this girl, number one, and how old is she supposed to be? Mm-hmm. Because she's in bed, obviously. Mike's already gotten up, which his daughters had to wake him up. He's like, oh shit, I'm late. And I have to fix the fucking truck. You know? Well, he probably should get up earlier, you know? But, so anyway, Mike's already awake. The girls woke him up. Travis has already gotten up. And he's had a chance to get those affair donuts, as I call them.
Yeah. Who's the girl who gave him the donuts?
Yeah. Some random girl about town, I guess.
Like, she stands outside waiting for him to come by.
He's like, cool, I'll give these to my girlfriend.
Yeah. And he does.
If I was making googly eyes with a girl at the McDonald's and she gave me a breakfast burrito for free because she thought we were going to fuck, and I gave it to my wife, oh, dude. It would be fucking game on at that point.
I like how you just described your dream world of getting free breakfast burritos in exchange for sex.
Which, on the other hand, if my wife was getting free food from a guy that wanted to fuck her, I'd be like, yo, can you make friends with the dude at the Red Lobster? Or like, get some of them biscuits,
Can I get
girl?
some, too?
Right? Fucking endless shrimps right around the corner. No, so my question, though, is if this girl, I don't know how old she is, I guess is my point. Because D.B. Sweeney, he looks 31 to me in this movie. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, who is this girl? Why is she still in bed? And why is, like, does she have nothing going on? You're never going to move out of the house if you just stay in bed all day.
Well, she's not even at her parents' house.
Right.
She's staying at her brother's house.
Yeah. Why don't you go get a job, dude? You know? That's all I'm saying.
Why don't you go work at the donut shop?
Yeah. You can have words with that one old gal.
Yeah.
Straighten her shit right out.
Or the diner. We know there's a diner in town.
There is a diner. Hey, and waitresses, they do all right for themselves, you know? So, but I thought that was kind of weird. Anyway.
I thought, by the way, when the scene starts with him riding his motorcycle through town,
Yeah.
I was like, is that Paul Rudd?
I could, just at a quick glance, I could see that, yeah. Which, I've had some history with Paul Rudd lately. I watched that Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Horrible, but he's in it, so.
Really?
Yeah, really early Paul Rudd, like introducing Paul Rudd. So,
find out that Travis is in, or not Travis, Mike's in financial difficulties.
yeah, we get to see, he goes downstairs. His daughters wake him up, which once again, like, dude, if you got to fix the truck, you better be getting up at like 4 or something. I understand you were working till dusk the night before. I got that. Who wants to do that? Yo, I want some dinner and I want some bed, but you got to wake up the fuck early to go fix that truck, you know? But he comes downstairs and he's talking to his wife. She just starts bitching about money. Right off the cuff. That's all she does in this movie is just bitch at this dude.
Oh, is that why? Oh, this is what you have so much to say about?
Yeah.
Oh, the character.
She never has one nice thing, like one supporting thing like, yo, I'm sorry about your friend, yo. You know, I don't even know what happened, but that sounds crazy. You know, if everything you're telling me is true, that sounds insane. There's never that. It's just like, maybe you murdered him, motherfucker.
Well, if you and me and some of our friends went out camping and one of us didn't come home, would our wives believe the story?
I think that my wife, I don't know if she would believe my story, but she wouldn't automatically assume that I murdered you. But I think that your wife might assume that I did that. Explaining that to her would be a fucking mess. So.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
So, yeah, Mike's down working on his truck. Travis pulls up. Mike's in a fucking bitchy mood. He won't talk to him. That's when he shows him the picture of the MT motors. Our prices are so good, the lot's almost always MT.
Get it? Mike and Travis?
Yeah.
MT.
Oh, I got it. Yeah. So that's when Mike shoots him down. Apparently, Travis is where he is talking to Dana whenever he climbs up to her window. And that's supposedly Mike's sister, we later find out. He wants to get married. Gives her an affair donut.
Yep.
And then Mike and him dip out. I guess he fixed the truck.
Yeah.
They go to pick up the boys.
Didn't take long.
No. So we see where Travis and this dude Alan Dallas, they don't really like each other.
No, they don't. They don't. They poke back and forth a lot.
Yeah. Mike says that they're going to be working till dark once they show up on the job site. Might I say, I have cut down trees before, like for like probably a month or two, and it sucks. It's really shitty work. I don't ever want to do that shit again. But to all you people that do the logging and shit, props to you, because not my thing. We see where there's a little bit of an altercation in between Travis and Dallas. A little bit.
Kind of.
Why don't you tell us what happened there, Mike?
Not a whole lot.
Well, he goes to cut down a tree, Dallas does.
Oh, that's later. So we're in the car ride.
Oh, yeah, well, in the car, yeah.
And so Travis is defending the choir boy, I think.
I think so. Oh, there's the one guy with the radio.
Yeah, he defends like someone with the music.
He's like, turn that shit down. And he's like, he says something.
It's a good song.
Fucking, yeah. And that's whenever Dallas is like, why don't you shut the fuck up, bitch? Or something like that.
And then that's when Travis tells him,
why don't you shut up, motherfucker?
You got a problem. We can make it a problem. They're just talking shit to each other. And then fucking on the site, Dallas chops down a tree and lands right next to Travis.
Right.
And then he walks over to him and like flexes chainsaw on his face.
Right.
Which
is funny because Travis like holds his chainsaw up and like kills the motor on it. Like, I'm not fucking playing this stupid game, you know, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then like at lunch, Mike talks to him. He's like, why can't you get along with this dude? Dude, he's the one that put the chainsaw down. He's not really instigating this shit, you know. Mm-hmm. Maybe he, you know, he doesn't try to stop it right away, but he's not starting shit, you know. So I don't know. And that's when he's like, you're a dreamer. You want to marry my fucking sister. You're crazy. Like I said, they never show this dude being friends, you know.
I guess it's true.
So,
it's a pretty rough day.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'd be in a bad mood if I was cutting trees down, too.
And you're losing your house.
Right. Why would Travis want to open a business with this dude?
And your best friend's fucking your sister.
Your best friend you don't get along with.
And I think she's a minor. Right. And he's in his 30s.
Well, if they're even close to the same age, now you got this deadbeat sister who lays in bed all day and won't fucking leave. Yeah. Meanwhile, your best friend's fucking her and you don't even like this guy, you know? Wife's eating on your ass all day, you know.
Keeps rubbing it in your face how you don't get to ride your motorcycle anymore.
Right. Wife thinks you're a loser that's a potential murderer after this is all said and done.
Your crew has a drifter on it.
Right. With a police record, we find out, yeah.
Who just threatened to kill your so-called best friend.
Right.
It's been a rough day.
It is a rough day.
Which day just started?
Dude, he's before he gets out of bed, he's having a bad fucking day, man.
This is lunchtime.
Yeah. What I think is funny too, what was it here? So Lieutenant Waters asked Dallas, because I guess he has a cut on his hand. Yeah. They never really showed what happened with the cut on his hand. Mm-mm. He was like, oh, I cut it on some shit. And he was like...
They do tell us later, but we
don't
see
he was like... Later on, they're like, hey, he found out about the cut on your hand, that whole thing with Travis. We never see Travis, like, chop his hand up or anything.
Or them getting a fight.
No.
I don't see any of that.
No.
So what the fuck happened to his hand?
I have no idea. It's pretty weird, man. I guess apparently there were originally, in the incident that took place in real life, like 7 guys on the crew. But they narrowed it down to 6 so that there wouldn't be too many people to keep track of. There's like 3 of these guys don't get any lines anyway, hardly. Yeah. So, yeah. I was wondering why Travis would want to open a business with Mike at all. Like, Mike already owns a business, and the only overhead that he has invested is chainsaws, and he's still almost losing his house. The thing is belly up. So what are they going to do? Like, go to the bank, you know? The banker's going to be like, all right, well, what do you do for a living? He's like, oh, I own a business. Great. Well, you already have experience. What's that looking like? Oh, it's almost belly up. Yeah. I'm barely keeping my house, you know? And Travis is like, I got money in my sock, you know, $200.
I'll get you some donuts.
Right? Yeah. Can't pay the mortgage in donuts, homie. So we jump ahead to the end of the workday. As they're headed home,
Dallas says it was like fire.
It was like fire. As he's lighting a cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's clever.
You see all these red lights that's what our key to go to the flashback of the night.
Right.
And they're driving home.
That's almost as subtle as like a harp playing for like a dream sequence.
Yeah.
Fade out. Yeah.
They're driving home their normal route. They see some red lights. They start to get curious about it.
Right.
And long story short, Travis says he tells Mike to stop the truck, and he gets out to go look at it.
Right.
Dumbass.
They think that it might be a forest fire. And they're like, if it is, then we got to go through there anyway, because that's the fucking way that the road goes. And so, yeah, this is when they park, and we don't see what it is at first. They look over, and Travis is gone. The door's still open and everything.
Dumbass.
Right. I want to check this out, man. It's beautiful.
I would not.
Absolutely not. I would see that shit and keep going, dude. So... one thing I think is weird. So if you see, it's kind of a trope in all these alien movies. If the radio stops working, how does the trucks keep running? You know,
Radio frequencies.
no, like the radio like dies.
He shuts it off because he can't find.
Oh, did he shut it off?
Yeah.
Oh.
You see him like the station's acting all crazy. Dallas asks him if he's fucking with them.
Yeah.
And he just reaches down there, and clicks it off.
Oh, okay. I thought that it had just shut off. Yeah. So okay, that makes sense. Suddenly, what is it here? Whenever Travis hops out, they're like, dude, get the fuck back in the truck. What are you doing? You know?
Uh-huh.
All that shit. He's just checking it out. We get kind of a pan out shot of the bottom of this UFO.
Shitty.
Kind of shit looking, yeah. Something made out of cardboard, I'm thinking.
Yeah, it wasn't very
like
well
it's got smoke coming in, like they put
It
a
was
smoke
not
machine
very well
in it.
done at all.
$15 million budget. So.
And that's the only time we see the thing, so.
Yeah. They were trying to definitely keep that under wraps. Like, let's show it for a couple seconds and not. We don't want people to think about it too long.
The bottom of that thing, like the little, like,
looks like a net or
the
something.
saucer kind of.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty small considering, like, later
Well, yeah. And
how big we see the place is.
considering it has a bottomless pit in it.
Right.
It's true.
And catacombs and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole maze area, yeah. So anyway, the lights on thing, like it's blue at first and then it starts to change to red, and all of a sudden this beam of light like surrounds Travis, and they're like, what the fuck was that, bro? And so then it like knocks him backwards and they're like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah.
We see Dallas real quickly like roll the window up. Love it. That was really funny, man. I don't know if they intended that to be funny, but I was laughing pretty hard at that.
This is how I know that Travis and Mike are not best friends.
Because he dips?
He fucking bails on him.
Well, I was all week thinking about what I would do in a scenario like that. Because you don't know what it is you just saw. You don't know if he's alive. You don't know if he's dead. And you have... what is it? 4 other guys, not counting yourself, that are potentially in danger now. And so I really wasn't sure what I would do in a situation like that. You know, the first thing your tendency is to get everybody out of danger, you know. But maybe that's not the right thing to do, man. I don't know.
Never leave a man behind.
I mean, that's true. But like, say, you know, we're going to revert back to a little bit of army training here. Like, say there's a guy that gets popped by a sniper. You're going to make sure that...
We have to.
I mean, you're not going to rush out there and grab his ass, because
to-
you're just going to get fucking nailed too.
You have to eliminate the threat, yes.
Right. Well, there's no pot. What's he going to do? Hit him with a Chevy? Fucking... You can't eliminate that threat right then.
I'm going to wait for it to fly away. I'm going to stay in my truck.
I mean, that's
and
a
watch.
valid point too.
I'm going to sit in my truck and watch.
Fucking roll that window up.
And when the spaceship takes off, I'll run over there and grab Travis.
Right.
If it doesn't take off and little green guys come out, I'm fucking them up.
Oh, yeah. Just hit him with the truck, you know.
I'm hitting them with the... piecing them up with the 1s and 2s.
I'm just saying, they might be bulletproof. They ain't going to be truck proof. But I'm surprised that none of these fucking Arizona logging rednecks didn't have a rifle on them, man.
Yeah, it's pretty odd.
Yeah, you would think, especially in 1975, like kids would drive to school like with a gun rack in their truck. Like
Yeah, that's
nobody
odd.
gave a fuck. But yeah, they all dip out. Basically, he's driving crazy. He drops him off on the side of the road, which if it were me, I'd be like, fuck you. I'm not waiting outside on the side of the road. You can suck my dick, you know.
We saw that shit too, bro.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what's faster than my legs is your stupid ass truck that barely runs. So, basically, we cut back to where, like the testimony that Mike's giving. And he's like, I went back, dude was gone. And so I grabbed the guys, came back.
Yep.
This is where I revert back to, because it's supposed to be after he picks the guys back up that the movie opens. And we see him at that point, like, driving like crazy, zipping all down this country road, banging into trees, breaking his mirror off, almost hitting a delivery truck, you know? And I'm like, wait. Whenever he dropped those dudes off, like, he was pretty much calm and cool and collected at that point, at least enough to not fucking bash his truck in. And so I'm like, why in the opening credits do they have him fucking going crazy in that thing, man?
I don't know.
Imagine explaining that to his bitchy wife. She's like, what'd you do to the truck? And he's like, well, I mean, Travis, he was got, you know. And she's like, oh my God, you're chasing Travis. Well, no, I wasn't trying to rescue him or anything. She's like, oh my God, did Travis die? No, Travis didn't die. She's like, well, you know, I can understand. You're probably, you know, your nerves were frayed and all that. He's like, well, I was kind of calmed down already at that point, you know. Well, what the fuck did you wreck the truck for, stupid? That's our one partially working vehicle, you know. But
bring it back to money,
I guess.
Dude, I'm not having fun talking about this movie.
No. It'd be all right.
I'm still not interested in it.
You just don't care. Not in the slightest bit.
It looks like you're having fun talking about it, though.
I am.
All right, I'll sit here
about
and just keep nodding my head. It's really good for recording, audio recordings, you know, when your co-host just nods his head the whole time.
Of course. Fair enough. So,
fake news.
Yeah.
Search parties.
Right.
Big Brother.
Says,
if anything happened to my baby bro.
Oh, yeah. That's weird. That guy keeps saying baby bro.
My baby bro.
Movie. Your baby 31-year-old bro. Anytime he talks about Travis, he says baby bro.
I quit calling. I have a younger brother, and I quit calling him my little brother, like when he was of drinking age.
He's not your baby bro anymore.
He's not my little brother. He's just my brother.
Yeah, my baby bro. Oh, your baby bro that is having an affair and is wanting to get engaged. So, yeah, they got this manhunt going. Lieutenant Waters is pretty sure they killed Travis.
Yeah, he's not convinced at all.
No. He thinks that they're probably going to find him, but he's going to be chopped up.
We got a homicide on our hands.
Yeah. We see where Dana and Katie are, like, listening to the radio. They're talking about Travis. Dana's actually pissed that he left Travis there, which is kind of what you were saying. Like, what the fuck, you know?
Well, she's in love with him.
Right. And we see where Whitlock, the fucking choir boy, is in church, and he's like, please forgive us for what we done. And at this point, I'm like, wait, what'd you do? You know? Maybe they killed this motherfucker.
I don't think so.
Maybe he's talking about leaving him there?
Yeah, I guess.
Whatever. We get this weird, I don't know what the point was, and I was trying to put it together in my head. We see that there's this guy that's like watching these guys from the crew. He's like, he's from this Apache reservation, I guess.
Oh, yep.
What's up with that? They like made special attention to like make this a point in the movie.
Well, it's just so they can say the Apaches in that tribe have legends of strange creatures visiting that part of the world for a long time.
Oh, okay. Because that's what I was wondering if that was the case. Was, you know, putting yourself in that mindset of like Native Americans back in the day, like seeing these big fucking ships come in, and you're like, "What the fuck is that, bro?" You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's that's the whole reason that Apache gentleman was standing there.
Okay,
so they can say that.
They find what they think is a body, but it turns out it's just an old dog.
When Hunter buried his dog.
Yep.
Okay.
They're trying to play it up like, oh, we found a body. Well, even if you did, it wouldn't be some dried up old bones at this point. It's the fucking next day.
Should go real quick.
Yeah. So I guess.
And I don't know, like, if you're looking for a body
Right.
that's been outside for a day, they smell terrible.
Oh, yeah. It's really bad. Especially in, like, I would imagine Arizona, where it probably gets pretty toasty. They don't even say what time of year this is. But you're going to notice a body before you ever see it, you know? So, apparently, that night, Mike's wife, Katie, tells him the contract was canceled. And everybody in town thinks you're a murderer. And we have to live here. And our fucking kids have to go to school here.
Yeah, she treats them like shit.
Why don't you say something nice to your husband for once?
This is why Mike's so pissed off at Travis all the time.
He's just taking it out on him.
Yeah, he's just getting bitched at by his wife constantly, so he's
I'm gonna
taking it out
fuck with this dude. Yeah.
Travis is a good guy. I know he won't go anywhere, so I could take it out on him.
Right. My verbal punching bag.
He's like a puppy.
Yeah. If he wants to continue banging my sister, he better shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Listen to my shit.
So he goes and stays at a motel.
He does. I don't blame him.
The same one the sheriff is at, I think.
Right. At the hotel, the guy that's working the desk, he looks like he's eating a plate of vomit.
Ew.
It's like chunks and like some kind of fucking green gravy or something. He's just sitting there getting down on it. I was like, that looks awful, bro.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Have you seen Jimmy Fallon do that?
I think
chef?
so. Yeah.
Really
I'm
funny.
gonna say maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, he asked the guy at the desk not to tell anybody that he's staying there.
Can you keep a secret?
Fuck no. Next morning, getting hit up.
But it's funny because he brings the guy in, like the guy's all super intrigued.
Yeah.
Can you keep a secret? And the hotel manager or motel manager, wherever he is, he's like, of course.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody I'm staying here.
Right.
Fuck. Thought you were gonna tell me about aliens.
Right. Or what you did. Yeah. Something.
Meet a guy from afar.
Oh, yeah. This Jarvis Powell fuckface.
Yeah.
It's the American Foundation for Aerial Research. They stop him on the way to breakfast. This fucking Poindexter looking motherfucker, dude. Mm-hmm. He is not cool. He's the anti-poon. Anyway, he gives him his business card. They go into this diner. Everybody's shooting looks at him. They wind up almost getting into an altercation with one of the local yokels. And here we see where Sheriff Davis and Lieutenant Waters want him to do a lie detector test. But nobody knows where this Dallas guy is at.
Right.
He just kind of dipped out. And he says, well, think about it. Maybe, whatever. Mike, however, says that he actually does know where Dallas is.
He doesn't tell them that.
Right. I don't know why.
I don't know. It's like they're trying to cover up a crime or something.
Right. That looks pretty suspect. Hey, there's this guy that had, he didn't like this missing person, and we know where he is, but we're not going to fucking tell you.
And you said Travis wrote this screenplay and stuff?
He wrote the book.
The book?
Yeah.
So he really tried to make it like a murder mystery, like a disappearance mystery.
I don't know. I haven't read the book.
Why else would he give us pieces to make it look like his friends are guilty?
Well, and that's the thing is this
he knows he wasn't. They didn't do it.
Right. This movie does play out more like a murder mystery for the first 93% of it,
Yeah.
than anything else. I'm guessing that the book probably has more to do with his actual encounter, but
I hope so.
yeah, this is pretty dry stuff according to Mike. So, we go where we see Dallas. He's playing cards with a bunch of Mexicans. Mm-hmm. Like they just play cards outside this fucking travel trailer, I guess. And so Dallas is convinced that they're gonna press charges. And that the other guys are going to fucking rat on him, basically save their own ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they ask him, they're like, yo, we're going to do this lie detector test. So if we do it, everybody's going to have to do it. And that's basically the end of that.
Yep.
I mean, there's more in there, but that's the gist of it.
And we see the news is all over the town. There's tourists all over town.
It's been 4 days.
Yeah.
We get a racist deal where we see Asians that are walking around with cameras and, laughing and shit and fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Then we have a town meeting.
Yeah, across the hotel, there's the town hall. And all the town folk are bitching. And guess what? His bitch wife is there.
Yeah.
So
is his sister.
that's great. Yeah, exactly. Fucking great.
Everybody's against him.
Everybody in that fucker's talking shit about him.
Yeah.
He finally walks in and fucking gives these rednecks what for, man.
He says, I miss him real bad.
I miss him. I miss him real bad. I'm sure you do too. Yeah. He basically walks in. He's like, look here, you fucking inbred motherfucks. He says, fuck you and the fucking horse you rode in on, which is probably what happened because you're a bunch of fucking redneck small town motherfuckers.
I'm going to take that lie detector test.
Right? If you want to talk shit, you do it to my face. That's how it's going to be. And he tells him he's going to do the lie detector test. And
picture the whole crowd in the town meeting, like standing up and cheering when he says, we're going to do your lie detector test. They all stand up like, yeah!
Yeah! He's guilty! Burn him at the stake! Yeah, he's had it up to here with these fuckers.
Yeah, he's mad.
The next day, the guys aren't convinced the test is going to be impartial, but they take it anyway. And they wind up taking the test.
They all pass it.
Except
for
Dallas.
Dallas is inconclusive.
Right. Which he was if there was somebody that I was trying to administer the lie detector test that was bouncing around all over the place like that, fuck that. But yeah, they're good. So anyway, we see they want him to take the test again. They're like, well, one was inconclusive, so you gotta fucking come back tomorrow, finish this thing out. And that's whenever Mike's like, you know what, this is horse shit. You know, we've fucking done everything you wanted.
We took your fucking test.
Right. You know, I told you what happened. You don't believe us, so I don't know what the point is, you know. And I'm pretty much done with this shit, you know. If you're going to arrest me, go ahead and do it. Otherwise, you can go fuck yourself, you know. And
yeah, Mike.
That's what I'm saying. I would be sick of this crap, but
4 days of hell.
Right. 4 days. Yeah. And that's what I love is whenever they're leaving the police station, Dallas looks at him because he's been like disrespectful to the cops this entire time. As he's leaving, he like shoots him a look like, what's up with that guy? You know? It's fucking great. So that night, Mike's like chilling at his house, you know, watching the fucking static on the TV with his daughters. His wife comes in. She's like, are you staying the night? And he's like, yeah, I think so. She's like, do whatever you want. Bitch. Why is she never nice to her husband, dude?
I don't know.
She is so mean to that guy, you know. I would call her a bitch to her face, but that's just me.
Prank call.
Yeah.
It's Travis.
It is. And she's like, oh, this is stupid. Hangs up the phone, rings again. Mike picks it up. He's convinced. So it says, Mike, help me. He tells him that he's calling from a gas station in Brockway.
Yep.
And they sure enough find him.
Yeah, he takes Dana with him, his wife with him, and Big Bro with him.
Big Bro.
Travis is Big Bro.
Right.
And they go and find him buck naked.
Yeah. Ass hanging out.
Soaking wet.
He's huddled up against this ice machine.
Yeah. No, I would not lean against the ice machine when I'm soaking wet.
No.
But if you stick to it.
I mean, yeah, aliens would be the least of your problems. Homie.
Like Christmas Story.
I'm sure the outside of it's not cold.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
And then he's got like crazy blood coming out of his eyes.
Yeah, like these 3 little like scabs around like his left eye.
And then blood coming out of his nose.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty fucked up, dude.
Right. So I just wrote, he's curled up, not talking, naked and dehydrated. And anytime like Dana goes to like touch him, he just starts. Yeah.
It's like the go-to in all movies.
Right.
If you just got out of a traumatic experience and someone tries to touch you, you have to make
Don't
that
fucking
sound.
touch me. Yeah. I know that it's just my friends, but whatever. I still don't want you to
This is a
touch
chick
me.
I just asked to marry me.
Yeah.
4 days ago.
I'm sure I've been inside of her several times. So
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Trying to put a ring on it.
right. Got to test it out, So somebody called that fucking nerd Jarvis Powell.
Yeah, Mike did.
Yeah, fail. So fucking he's in there. Travis is trying to drink as much water as he can, And we get Jarvis Powell and he's trying to like interview him and they're like, "Man, get rid of this fucking guy. He's not talking to him anyway." And that's when Powell's like, "Hey, I will clear this room if you guys fucking." I would be like, "All right, look here, you fucking nerd."
That's my baby bro.
Right? I'm about to whip your ass all over this gas station if you fucking put a hand on me.
I'll show you what a real anal probe is like.
Right? Exactly. So
Yeah, they act like they have some type of authority.
yeah, I'm sorry that you don't get this interview for your fucking newsletter, but you don't have any say here. So fuck off,
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
But as they're trying to talk to Travis, lightning strike hits, flashback.
Well, yeah, and he sees like a little handprint on the window.
It looks like someone dragged their hand down the window.
And he's having like these PTSD type flashbacks because the paramedics are like wheeling him into the hospital or whatever. And he's seeing like little flashes of shit that happened during his encounter, I guess.
He was dragged into the spaceship by these aliens.
Yeah, they're dragging him around. Although there's this one creepy nurse that's like, just like staring at him, like smiling. Don't do that. So anyway, after they go through and examine him, I assume they got him hooked up to all kinds of fluids and shit. Mike goes to see him. And they put him... Fuck 1975 hospitals, by the way. Like, people that are, like, being examined or whatever, they just have them, like, fucking in a room, like, with, like, 100 other people.
He's on the, like, psych floor.
Oh, okay. I still wouldn't like that very
No,
much. Like,
he's the only one in there, though.
I've
He's
been
good.
through some shit. I really don't need to be in here with a bunch of crazies,
Mike sneaks in and blames Travis for everything.
Well, so the funny thing about it is so he walks in and he's like, "Man, I missed you. Everybody's been going nuts." He says, "We had a search party." He talks about him and Kate. He doesn't think they're gonna make it, which, duh, I could have fucking told you that. She's a mean ass motherfucker. And so he tells Travis that he's like, "Man, when I went out there and when I came back and saw that you were gone, man, I didn't know what to do." And Travis is like, "You came back?"
Like, you left me?
Right. And he's like, "Well, yeah, we didn't know if you were dead or what, So we got out of there to safety, and then fucking I came back and you were gone." And Travis doesn't say anything to him. And he's like, "Look here, motherfucker. I didn't tell you to get out of the truck." Fucking crazy, man. Why would you get out of the truck anyway? Retard.
Then we get to see Travis with Dana.
Yeah.
She's going into the grocery store to get some groceries, and the little kid asks him for his autograph.
Yeah. He's been to space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He signed it.
And then Lieutenant Waters, he's like, "So they said you went without food for 5 days. Was it worth it?" And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about, man." He's like, "I think you're full of shit, He's like, "Just trying to get famous for whatever reason,
Yeah, he doesn't hide his true feelings.
He doesn't give a fuck, yeah. And so, anyway, that's when Dana's like, "All right, we're getting the fuck out of here." And they throw a welcome home party. And
Except for Travis, he's scared.
right.
So he hides under the table
He does.
in the kitchen.
Mike's not there, understandably. Fuck this guy. He's trying to blame me for him getting out of the truck and getting abducted by aliens.
Yeah. And then he's having like a seizure or something.
Well, Dana goes to try to console him.
And knocks over some syrup.
Some syrup. Why they got syrup out for this fucking welcome home party?
I don't know.
Clean the kitchen table, motherfucker. Come
The
on.
syrup rolls down the table and drips onto his face, which sends him into another flashback.
Right.
But this time we get to see what the fuck happened.
The long flashback. The
Yeah.
whole point of why this movie exists is this, you know. You could tell that they were saving up this big fat load to shoot right here in this movie, you know. Mm-hmm. So basically, he wakes up in this human-sized pod.
Yeah, I wrote, we're finally inside this fucking ship.
Yeah. Well, at this point, you're like, why don't you just show me what happened?
Yeah.
You know? So he's inside of this thing. It's like filled up with slime in between his fingers. On one side, there's like this rubbery wall.
He's got some shit in his mouth.
Yeah. It looked really gross.
It did.
I can't imagine it tasted good.
Yeah.
No.
Not like syrup.
No. Yeah, that's different than syrup's great. But, so anyway, it's this fleshy, rubbery type
Like a membrane.
thing. Yeah. And he's able to poke his hand through it.
And then fly out of it.
Yeah, he's floating, you know, because it's zero gravity.
Because space,
The whole
bro.
space thing. I wonder what's up with these. Why were they there in the first place?
I don't know.
They like parked while they got high, or
They were getting the pizza.
dude, there's a guy down there. What should we do? Fuck, is he a cop? Hey, put that out. Put that out.
Turn off the lights, fucker.
Fucking shit. It's not my dad, is it? Fuck. So anyway, yeah, he's floating through. He basically, whenever he comes out of this pod, he's on the inside of this big fucking like a cylinder, you know, like a
Full of like these pods. Looks
Yeah,
like,
like
a
a-
honeycomb.
right. It's like a vertical, like a tunnel almost. But yeah, it's completely lined with all these other pods, you know. And so anyway, he at one point grabs an umbilical cord looking deal.
Something like that.
And he pulls himself too, and he flies into this other pod where there's like this body that's just decayed and
Yeah, just
dead.
the top half of a body left.
Yeah, he gets a
human.
face full of that shit.
A human, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
What if these aliens were Klingons, man? That'd be fucking cool. But yeah, the cylinder, I said it was about 30 feet across, roughly.
It was pretty
if not
big.
bigger than, yeah. So anyway, at one point, he gets out of this fucking pod where there's this decayed
He like
body.
floats down
Yeah.
to the bottom, and you see these what we are used to describing as aliens.
Yeah.
The white, the gray skin with the
Right.
big black eyes.
Well, yeah. He climbs to the top of the cylinder, yeah.
And then he says, "Spacesuits."
Right, his key comes out of his pocket, and it's like floating.
Oh yeah.
He goes to try to grab it, and he tumbles over the wall like a fucking moron. And so yeah, he's at the bottom of this like thing, and there's like these aliens that are circling around. Turns out they're just spacesuits.
Spacesuits.
He's talking
He
to
says it-
himself.
Yeah, he says it all like a kid. Ooh, cool.
Right,
But one of them suits is moving.
right. He doesn't see it because he's all like enamored with this one. But one comes up right behind him, grabs him on the shoulder.
Wham, wham.
Excuse me, sir. You can't be here. This fucking area is restricted. So.
You're coming with me.
Right, I'm gonna have to ask you to exit the premises, please.
Well, now we have to give you a procedure that you're going to be terrified for.
Right.
So come with me.
We're gonna put this razor up your dick hole. So he winds up though when that thing grabs him, he like spins around and kicks its fucking mask right off, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
pretty cool.
It looks like an old person.
It does, like a really old, nasty looking motherfucker.
Yeah.
yeah. Except their neck's a little too narrow, you know.
Like
but
E.T..
they're not like a gray. It's like what?
Like E.T.'s neck.
Oh yeah. Exactly. I don't think their fingers glow though.
No.
So, but they're not like gray like you see in sci-fi stuff. They're not
Because that's
green.
her suits.
Right. But yeah, they're just flesh colored. Like,
Like white people.
well, not like Mike. Mike's a little too pale for that. But
I'm red.
that's true. So anyway, he starts climbing down this little tunnel thing, and this one alien's chasing after him. Catches up to him pretty quick, grabs him by the legs, and they start hauling
dragging
his ass off. Yeah. While they're hauling him away, He's like touching, there's like books and shit on the side of this pathway, and like a sneaker and glasses and shit like that before they strap him onto this table. I'm sitting here thinking like, well, one of you aliens isn't examining the humans. How about you grab a fucking broom, try to sweep up a little bit around here, because this place looks like fucking shit, dude.
Yeah, where's the janitorial alien?
Yeah. And then I got to thinking about it, and I was like, what if these aliens that are examining Travis, what if they weren't like doctors? What if they had like a 2-week course that they took? They're like, all right, we got the thing around the eye, check. Yeah, raspberry jelly down the throat, check. Oh, fuck, we didn't cover him with that rubber shit.
Yeah, we need the shrink wrap. Get the shrink wrap.
Right, yeah. Do we put the mist on him before or after the shrink wrap? I fucking forget every time. So, anyway, we see where on the examination table, they strip him down. If anybody was wondering, I guess DB Sweeney wears tidy whities. So
Okay.
they put a rubber sheet over him. They this mist like falls on the rubber sheet to tighten around him. And then they cut a little eye hole in the sheet and one over the mouth. And they put this fucking raspberry jelly in his mouth, send this little metal tube down his throat, and they put this fucking metal ring around his eye. It's pretty weird.
A lot of this shit looks very human, like our human technology.
Kind of does. I couldn't see the point to a lot of it, but yeah, I could see it being a human manufactured item.
Like the tube they stick down on his throat look a lot like our mic filters stands. This metal ring.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It
I
looks
can
a
see
lot
that.
like that. Mm-hmm. And the little eye thing, like they have those things.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, for eye surgeries. Like hold your eyelids open.
Like LASIK surgery and shit.
Yeah, all kinds of whatever eye procedures they need to do. Yeah.
It starts putting this liquid out over his eye.
Like milk in his eye.
It's kind of weird. Yeah.
And a long ass needle comes down. Mm-hmm. We don't see it go into his eye.
No, we don't. Well, there's this thing because they put another one in the side of his neck.
Oh, yeah.
And they hook up to his neck and his mouth.
Yeah, what the fuck are they doing?
I don't know. At least they didn't go for the butthole, I guess.
Yeah, what? That's the last thing I have written on my notes, by the way. No anal probe. What the fuck?
Are you telling me nobody went up your poop chute? Come on, man.
Everybody knows that's how it goes down.
First thing they do.
God damn it, Travis. I know you're full of shit now.
They didn't even take his underwear off. They weren't even close to the butthole.
I know you're full of shit now.
Right. We just debunked
Your story does not hold up.
Right.
Why? No anal probe.
Right. We know it happens.
Yep.
Just saying. Yeah. So yeah, they show like this big fucking weird contraption that conveniently stops like 10 feet above his head so that they can build up the suspense of this needle like traveling toward his eye, and that's when he wakes up. And he's in a doctor's office.
I guess he was recounting his story to the doctor with the sheriff's present. Lieutenant
Was he?
Yeah.
Well, because afterward, the Lieutenant Waters is like, oh, that whole story's bullshit, whatever. But I'm like, I thought that he was having like some sort of PTSD flashback. They treat it almost like he was under hypnosis or something, but that's not what we saw. So,
No.
I don't know.
Said he had 5 days to get that story together.
Right. Yeah. Which, whatever. I'm going to elaborate too on that because apparently the movie took a lot of liberties with that whole alien encounter, and none of it has to do with Travis's actual account of what happened. So, but I looked it up and I'm going to tell everybody what it was. So,
I'm ready.
all right. Well, let me grab this here real quick then.
You act like you were ready to do it.
Oh, I am. I was born ready, sir.
Lies.
Almost. Okay, so
Lies.
he's describing the aliens. He says the only facial feature that didn't appear underdeveloped were those incredible eyes! Exclamation point. Those glistening orbs had brown irises twice the size of those of a normal human's eyes, nearly an inch in diameter. The iris was so large that even parts of the pupils were hidden by the lids, giving the eyes a certain cat-like appearance. There's very little of the white part of the eye. He's obsessed with eyes, man. Anyway, So, according to Walton's account, he leapt up from the table, grabbed an instrument on a nearby table, wielded it as a weapon, and swung it at the aliens. They filed out of the room. Walton walked into a room with a high-backed chair in the middle and took a seat. Upon operating a set of controls, he deduced that he was in some sort of observatory. Suddenly, a man in a blue suit with a glass helmet came through a doorway. When Walton spoke to him, he didn't respond. He merely guided Walton through the doorway. The wordless man led Walton through the doorway out of a saucer-like object into a hangar filled with other saucers, down a hallway, and into a room that featured 3 more humans. Walton's questions continued to go unanswered as they mentioned for him to lie down on the table. One of the quote-unquote humans, a woman, placed a mask over his face and he immediately passed out. All of this was consciously recollected by Walton, and when undergoing hypnotic regression soon after the incident, he revealed no further information and stated that he felt as though delving any deeper would kill him.
That was it?
Yeah. I like the movie version better.
Yeah, so his story is that he fought the aliens away.
Right. He went into a room.
And then some human, like, people did something to him.
Shit over. Yeah, and he passed out. And
that was it.
I didn't remember anything. So, yeah.
He got a book and a movie deal out of that?
Right.
Damn.
They say that this is like the most controversial abduction story ever in history. You know.
Wait, do they have any abduction stories they're pretty sure happened?
Oh, I don't think so. No.
Oh.
I mean, the Betty and Barney Hill, I guess they got one, but you know, that was back in 1975. You can find that one on YouTube, by the way. Their little movie. But
good.
So anyway, Lieutenant Walters tells the sheriff Blake Davis that he thinks Travis is lying. Truth's gonna come out, and he's gonna be back when it does. And that's that. 2.5 years later.
Yeah, he's got a family. Travis has got a family. Him and Dana hooked up.
Yep.
Had a couple little kids.
He's got one on the way.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
He goes and visits Mike.
Yeah, I guess he hadn't talked to Mike since that hospital incident. I don't know.
And Mike's got like a kick-ass beard and long hair.
He's looking like a mountain man.
Yeah.
Looking fly, dude.
I'm guessing things with him and Kate are over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, really over. Who could blame him?
They go to the site.
To the spot, yep.
Yeah. They make up.
He tells Mike, yeah, they're having another baby. He named the first one after Mike.
Yeah, it's Michael's the name of the baby.
Mm-hmm. Travis, he's like, dude, I shouldn't have got out of the truck. I was being a fucking idiot. And that's whenever Travis tells him, he's like, I understand why you left me there. And they kind of reconcile. And Mike says he wants to go before they come back. Travis says they won't. He doesn't think they liked him. And that is the end of the movie.
Well,
You get a little post credit, like they say what happened.
Kind of the shit we just saw.
Yeah.
Him and Dana are still together.
Right. Mike got divorced.
Yep.
Apparently, all the guys went back on the crew and like redid a lie detector test in 1993, and they all passed.
Yeah,
with
even
flying
Dallas
colors.
this time.
Right. And they said that Travis Waltons was like working at some kind of sawmill or some crap. Who cares? Who could possibly give a fuck? But anyway, so have you already pretty much alluded to what your opinion is of this movie, Mike?
Hey, I'll tell you what. Watching the movie was way more fun than talking about it.
Really?
Yeah.
And you did not like watching it?
Hey, it's just a movie.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's okay. Nothing great about it. The best part is the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, or 10, whatever. Minutes,
the amount of time in the spaceship with the alien encounter. That's
Right.
That's definitely the best part of the movie.
But what sucks about that, though, is when you find out that it's all fabricated, you're like, oh, well, that fucking sucks.
Could you imagine if you watch that whole movie and then at the end you see his version?
Oh, yeah. He walks into a room, and then a guy in a blue suit, like, walks him to another room.
Well, you would see a couple aliens with cat eyes.
Right.
And then he would walk into another room where some dude in a blue suit and a glass helmet escorts him to 3 humans who put a gas mask on him, and he wakes up.
It's the worst movie ever.
I would be so fucking pissed.
Right. It's true. And I think that that's one of the things I like about this movie, because honestly, I really don't care that much about, the mystery, throughout the first 93%, I think I said, of this movie. But the last 10, whatever, 15 minutes where it flashes back to what supposedly happened. I actually think that that's pretty creepy stuff right there, honestly.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but otherwise I don't give a fuck about the rest of the movie. So,
Same.
yeah. Anyway, if you want to watch it, I guess go watch Fire in the Sky if you feel compelled or if you like alien shit like I do. You watch anything this week, buddy?
No.
No? Okay.
I worked late as fuck every night this week.
Yeah, I was trying to hit you up, text message you the other day, and you're like, dude, I'm fucking still getting slammed, you know? So, this week I watched, I got to tell you what happened last week, and I meant to tell during the recording. So while we were recording, me and the wife, my wife was taking a nap, and I had been watching Spider-Man. And so anyway, what wound up happening is she wakes up from her nap, and they have that stupid Chad Kroeger song going at the end of it. She's like, are you listening to Nickelback right now? It was really funny. But let's see. This week I watched something earlier today. Oh, I did watch Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
I would rather watch that, just so you know.
Yeah. You know, I watched that movie when I was a younger kid. I want to say maybe 9 years old. And I think this is the first time I've watched it since. And Steven Spielberg is the only director that I know of that could make a movie about aliens coming down and playing the trombone.
Bom, bom, bom.
Right. We watched a little bit more of that Hill House, The Haunting of Hill House.
We finished it.
Oh, did you?
Have you finished it yet?
Uh-uh.
I'll talk to you about it when you finish it.
Oh, okay. What else did we watch? Today I was watching Blade 2, actually. So I thought that was decent. But
Do you still watch The Walking Dead?
oh, no. No, I gave up after like season 4 of that show. I know that you do, though. You and the wife both keep up with that.
Yeah.
But, is it sucking or?
No. I don't think it's a big secret. I don't think I'm spoiling anything.
Well, Rick Grimes is supposed to be.
He's off the show.
Leaving,
now.
yeah.
He did his last show.
Oh, okay. Did they kill him off or? I mean, I guess you couldn't really spoil that, so you probably shouldn't say.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say. But his last show's over with.
It's crazy to me though, because I had heard reports that the guy that plays Lincoln, what's his name? I want to say Abraham Lincoln, but that's a fucking name.
I don't think that's right.
Andrew Lincoln. I had heard reports that he had talked about. He said that he was never gonna do the entire run of The Walking Dead. And so this was after like the first season came to a close, and I was like, but that's weird though to me because he was like a main character, you know. So I don't know, pretty different. But anyway, so have you any clue what we're watching next week, Mike?
None, not a single clue.
You haven't any idea?
No.
It's times like these that make me question the year that we started making this show. Because next week we're watching the Rugrats movie.
What the fuck?
Oh man, talk about a movie I do not give a fuck about, dude.
At least my kid will watch this one with me.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. But boy, I'll tell you, I could not care less if I tried. So,
God damn it.
we have that to look forward to, I guess. Anyway, if you want to contact us, you can always reach us, cheesymovie@yahoo.com. You can look us up on Facebook, Casino Royale with cheese, all separate words. You can look us up on Instagram, YouTube, iTunes, any one of those. Casino Royale W Cheese, all one word. And also our Twitter is Casino Royale WCH. And I think that's going to be it for me, my friend.
Yeah, I got nothing to say.
All right.
Sorry, y'all. My energy level is way low today. I didn't want to talk about this movie in the first place.
You can't see this, but Mike turned the light out like halfway through this fucking podcast because he's like, too bright, too bright.
It was hurting my head.
All right. Well, if you guys give a fuck about any of that fucking Rugrats shit, you can join us next week, and we'll see you then.
Bye.
I'll be back.